I mean, he's playing 14-5, and seems like the tricky type. Like, he could definitely have checked a flush on the turn. And here I'm betting smaller, super dry board. And you see he folds. This is an isolate. The shorter the stacks are, when you just have big card hands, you can isolate and just feel comfortable getting in with any top pair. It would be better to limp behind, like with some like suited connectory hands, because they are played more profitably with deeper stacks. So we keep getting these super dry boards. So I'm just going to bet 3 here. And the thing is, if he calls me with, say, pocket sixes, I've still got 6 outs. I essentially have 3 more outs with the ace because I'm going to bluff and he's going to fold, and I have a gut shot even if he doesn't fold. And I have a backdoor straight draw. So you should be betting over cards there, even if you don't think any worse hands will call or better hands will fold, because even if they won't, if you're not going to get check raised a lot, there's no reason not to bet the flop, because as long as you're going to continue to fire barrels on scare cards. I get called really quickly. I'm going to check this card back, because my showdown value, I can peel off a diamond. His quick call can definitely be a flush draw. So I would bet this more as a bluff, but now that I have some hand. Again, we're going to get these 4 flush spots where it's sort of like nuts or air type thing. So he's 26-8. Yeah, there you go. I don't. If you've noticed, I'm just gonna check this back. I don't think there's value. I don't really use many other stats other than the ones you see on the HUD. I don't look at the aggression stuff too much. This is the guy. He don't call the gut shot. This is a raise for value. If he has a better king, it's essentially a cooler. So we're going to raise this up one more time. Hope he has like 10-8 or something. Okay, this is going to be a raise here. The queens, check the queen too. He min bets here. Now I'm just going to flat, I think, because either his draw is missed or hit, and so okay. I don't know if he calls the raise with I'm going to bet this for value here against a short stack. He's going to call with a lot of worse hands. He doesn't just need a king. I don't know if the 23T bucket on the top left would have continued or not. I'm going to call here. This is a pretty standard defend. I'm going to bet like 4 here, continue to get some value out of some draws, sort of like lowish pair type things. And now this is a check fold river, I think, even though some of the draws missed. And here I'm just going to bet 250, hope he's trying to be tricky with like aces or something. Again, see, this is one of those paired flops where he should be betting because it's so dry. But yeah, you just check folds. Okay, this guy's pretty weak tight too. And so in this hand, he called me down with bottom pair. So a lot of people are like, oh, well, this is a way ahead, way behind situation. I'm going to check my queen on the king 2-3 flop. But you can get 2 streets of value there. I probably wouldn't have got a 3rd street out of him. That's why I was just going to check fold. Maybe check call if his bet was really small. And because some draws did miss 4-5, some gut shots, diamonds. This is kind of a coordinated flop, but I think it's still good enough to bet. I've got some equity over card. People continue. Here's a spot. I'm just going to pot it. If he raises, I'm going to fold though. Again, standard isolation against the short stack. Here's another spot. Just bet kind of like smallish. Okay, see, he raises here. He's 13-9. He's probably set mining me. I'm just going to fold. Sometimes you got like a flush draw or whatever, but I think it's a pretty standard spot to fold. Okay, here's the ace-6-6. This flop is super dry. This guy's short stack. I'm going to bet 2.75 into 5. And I do not think his calling range will change very much based on the bet size. And see there, he snap folds that small bet. Against this guy, this is a standard bet and just get the rest in. Um, I actually probably should have better checked him because he was so short, because I don't really have to worry about getting sucked out on because the stacks are so small. But now I'm just going to standard, get the rest in on the turn. Okay. Oh, these guys, I'm going to set mine here. The 3-bet's pretty small, and this guy cold calling is probably a decent hand. This would, and also because I'm closing the action, it makes it a better play to call. But he insta-pots, so I'm just gonna check the fold button. There's no reason to make a play on a super drawy board like that. Okay, here in this limp pot, I'm gonna take a stab at it because I've got a gut shot, backdoor flush draw. People aren't as likely to limp kings as they are like small pairs, things like that. So I expect them to fold a lot. So you need to fight for limp pots and stuff. Don't just auto check because it's not a raised pot and it's too small for you to care about or whatever. Okay, this guy min raises. I was considering 3-betting, but there's a short stack left to act. The min raise means he's probably going to peel it wider than I would like. If this guy's full stacked and he min raised, I would be much more likely to do it. Cause like, okay, I've got 15-9 to my left. That's like this table like isn't that great because there's not like fish to my right, but with the nit and the tight short stack, I can open kind of wide. I just can't 3-bet as wide because he's going to shove. Again, deeper stacks, I would isolate on the top right. I'm just going to take a quick look at my stats. Yeah, I continuation bet 83%. I'm playing 43-26 over 67 hands. But basically, you can just pound away at these guys because they're going to fold so often and not think twice about it. I mean, partially, to be fair to the guys you're playing here, a lot of this is because I'm essentially an unknown to them, so they are going to, I'm an unknown Tagish player, and an unknown Tagish player at NL50 is going to not be as aggressive as I am. But even after, if I played like 10,000 hands here, some people would start to adjust a little bit, but I'm sure they would not adjust nearly enough because they definitely haven't adjusted enough at NL200. So it's very unlikely that it's happened here. There's just some parts of my game though I can't even show you at these levels because it doesn't happen often enough, or at least I haven't in this 400 hands or whatever. It's like I 4-bet pretty light, but considering I haven't really had anyone 3-betting me that light, and people definitely should be considering, like, here's my attempt to steal is 59, 68, 44, 80, over 81 hands. I mean, the people in the blind should be 3-betting me so much because I'm just stealing all of their money by... Okay, see here, I only have 8 hands on guy. I'm checking to see right here if he's limped, because if he limped, he's probably bad. So I'm not going to 3-bet him here, but I would 3-bet him if he was a regular probably, because he's more likely to fold. But playing with weak aces out of position is not generally the best idea. If he raised and one of these two guys called, I would also call, closing the action with a suited ace. Just another dry flop, just going to bet again. Got some backdoor draws I might double barrel. This guy seems sort of like a reg over a small sample. He thinks a lot and then check raises. I'm going to fold. Sometimes that's a move, but see, when someone thinks in check raise, it's probably a little. They're thinking on that board. He's deciding whether, because it's really dry, he's deciding whether he wants to slow play or check raise, and I guess he decided to check raise. Again, some people they're not going to balance their play there and will only check raise their bluffs and always check. And never check raise their strong hands and slow play them. And so against those guys, I just make a really, really small 3-bet and expect to take it down most of the time. I'll finish up these orbits. I'll play one more on each of these tables here. And so, in the thread, just give me your feedback on what you think about this video and whether it helped you or not. This should definitely be a head start on towards opening up your game and using a exploitive strategy to win very big at these limits and exploit the regulars' weak tight tendencies. 5-4, this stack's too short to open. To the min raise from this guy, I'm just going to fold. I don't think he really does this with the worst hand. Sometimes maybe a flush draw, but if they're like flush draw and overcards, they're like flipping with us. He probably has a better 9 a lot of the time. Okay, I shouldn't have closed out that table. I could have seen my stats on it. But anyway, as you can see, I played what I probably look like a maniac to people using HUD. Like this guy here, I'm sure has one, the regular. But people are not adjusting like I am playing like one. No one's 3-betting me light. And some of these guys, this guy's played with me 50 hands, so I must look pretty loose and aggressive. But I haven't seen any. I've heard a peep out of him. So basically, these games are really, really soft if you just have a solid aggressive strategy and do it. And as you can see, I'm playing very loose, but I haven't done anything that you guys would probably consider a spewy or anything. So you can just play pretty straightforward, but this is for value because this is the guy who's been calling with anything. I'll just make a small one here. Yeah. I'll just make a small raise here. Expect him to snap. Okay, he folds. But this guy's been doing it with way, way, way too many hands. But just ask me any questions you have in the thread, and maybe I'll make another one for you guys sometime.